Tintagel Old Post Office is a stunning 600-year-old stone building and one of Cornwall's oldest domestic structures. The Grade 1 listed 14th century survivor is remarkably well preserved, including its iconic wavy slate roof. It has been used as a Victorian post office, a dressmaker's, and a draper's. But today, it's a National Trust property. The main difference you'll see between these two photos is its historic chimney, which was replaced during renovations in the 16th century. Next up is the lodge adjoining the gateway to St. Michales Mount, built in 1885 in the Tudor Gothic style. Likely built for the estate's management, or as a residence connected to the Mount's owners, it features an irregular L-shaped plan with a rear wing and an octagonal stair turret. St. Michales Mount itself is a historic tidal island, where around 30 residents live. It is famously crowned by a stunning castle. This is the Sloop Inn in St. Ives, which dates back more than 700 years, making it one of the oldest inns in the country. It has been a meeting place for local fishermen and harbor workers for centuries. It later gained fame as a favored meeting place for Victorian artists, contributing to St. Ives' reputation as a renowned art colony. With its low ceilings, granite rubble construction, and slate roof, the inn retains most original features. It's now Grade 2 listed. Here's another Grade 2 listed gem, the first and last inn in Sennen, established around 1620, which earns its name from its location just a mile from Land's End, making it the most westerly inn on the British mainland. It gained a notorious reputation in the 17th to 19th centuries as a haven for smugglers and wreckers who used the rocky coast to lure ships in the inn to store contraband, even featuring an old well and alleged smuggler's tunnel. This is Lanhydrock House, one of the most impressive stately homes in England. It was originally built between the 1620s and 1640s, though only the gatehouse, porch, and the spectacular long gallery with its 17th century plaster ceiling survived intact after a devastating fire in 1881. Following the blaze, the house was extensively rebuilt in a high Victorian style by the second Baron Robartes, who incorporated the latest modern conveniences. Botallack is one of the most historically significant former tin and copper mines in the county, with mineral extraction potentially dating back to the Bronze and Roman ages, although large-scale operation began in the 18th century. The mine is famous for its submarine workings, where shafts, including the diagonal Boscawen shaft, extended nearly half a mile out under the Atlantic seabed to a depth of up to 570 meters, making it an incredible feat of 19th century engineering. Mount Edgcumbe House, the historic seat of the Earls of Mount Edgcumbe, is an early Tudor-style mansion commissioned in the mid-16th century, replacing the family's earlier home. It was celebrated for its revolutionary outward-facing design and spectacular Grade 1 listed landscape park and gardens. Tragically, the house was gutted by German incendiary bombs during the Plymouth Blitz in 1941, but the 6th Earl bravely undertook a major reconstruction between 1958 and 1964. Trerice is an Elizabethan manor house, largely rebuilt around 1573, and remained the principal seat of the powerful Arundel family for over 4 centuries. Noted for its stunning facade with ornate Dutch-style gables and its spectacular Great Hall window containing 576 panes of original 16th century glass, the house remained little altered, thanks to periods of absentee ownership after the Arundel line died out in the 18th century. The Roundhouse East is an unusual dwelling constructed around 1820 by local builder Hugh Rowe for the Reverend Jeremiah Trist, the village vicar. While they were built to be tenant or laborer cottages, local lore explains their circular form as a superstitious measure, built without corners, so the devil would have no place to hide, with the crosses topping their conical thatched roofs intended to further keep evil away from the village. The Royal Albert Bridge, a masterpiece of Victorian engineering designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel, was built between 1854 and 1859 to carry the railway across the wide River Tamar, finally linking Cornwall with the rest of the British rail network. Though too ill to attend the official opening by Prince Albert on May 2, 1859, Brunel crossed his bridge in an open wagon just 2 days later, shortly before his death. Here's a lovely photo from 1900 of locals in Port Isaac, a historic fishing village, first recorded in 1338. From the Middle Ages until the rise of the railway in the mid-19th century, the village's economy relied heavily on its small, sheltered harbor for both trade and a thriving pilchard fishing industry. Although trade declined, fishing continued, and today, the picturesque village, with its narrow, winding streets, is known as the filming location for Doc Martin. Levant Mine was another highly successful coastal mine in the St. Just district of Cornwall, first documented in 1743 and operating continuously from 1820 to 1930. The mine was primarily an important producer of copper in its early years, before transitioning to become a major tin producer, also extracting substantial quantities of arsenic from deep workings that extended over a mile beneath the Atlantic Ocean. The historic village of Bodinnick, on the east bank of the River Fowey, has been defined for centuries by its connection to the water, primarily through the ancient Bodinnick Ferry, a vital crossing point on the main southern route through Cornwall, with records dating back to at least 1344. In the 19th century, shipbuilding was a key industry, with a shipyard operating at the water's edge. Today, the village retains its maritime charm, featuring the historic Old Ferry Inn. A group of locals gather for a photograph in Polperro, a historic fishing village in Cornwall, in the early 1900s. In the background, you can see the Grade II listed 16th century Three Pilchards Inn, said to be the village's oldest pub, which retains much of its original stone. The village's secluded harbor and winding lanes made it a notorious hub for smuggling, a trade so pervasive that a local merchant, Zephaniah Job, earned the title the smuggler's banker. An old ship sailing through Boscastle Harbour, a naturally sheltered inlet on the dramatic north coast of Cornwall, significantly enhanced by two stone harbour walls originally constructed in 1584. For centuries, it was the only substantial harbour along a long, rugged stretch of coastline, becoming a crucial commercial port in the 18th and 19th centuries, importing coal and limestone and exporting local slate. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel for more. Don't forget to leave your comments below.